Hey!
Hey, indeed. Hello, everyone. Yes, back again on a Friday with the second of our Discovery series. The first one was GitHub Copilot.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of weeks ago. Now we're going to look at Bootstrap.
Mm-hmm.
Exciting stuff. But first, a big hello to everyone watching live and in the future. Hello from the past. Let's boot this, I said earlier. Yes.
Hey!
Alana said, hey, party peeps, I can get behind that. Definitely some party peeps in the building. Look at that. Hello from East Anglia. Really? Oh. And hello from Austin.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if that means they're called Austin or they're in Austin.
Probably in.
Maybe both.
Maybe both. I mean, that would be a coincidence.
It would be. Yes. Ooh, Morocco. Lovely.
Hey!
Yes, we've been to Morocco. I reversed into Michael on a, what are they called?
Quad bike.
That's the one.
Yes.
Yes. And not deliberately. Hi from Toronto. From Kenya.
Okay.
Ottawa. Ooh,
All over the world.
brilliant. Lovely to see you all here. Thank you for tuning on in. And let's not forget our weekly tradition, which is, if you are new here, please put a bunny rabbit into the chat. If you've been before,
Hit us with that tiger.
we don't do anything with this information. It's just for fun to see the bunnies and tigers coming in. Oh, look, the first one there. Emma is a tiger. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
So, somebody said earlier on, oh, hello from Ukraine.
Hey!
Alexander Semenyuk.
Yes.
Hello from Sweden, says Sarah. You have great timing. I'm interviewing with a company using Bootstrap next week.
Mm.
You probably know more about it than us.
Yes, definitely.
It's a voyage of discovery today, but you might pick up some nice tips. Anyway,
Yeah, I think I used Bootstrap like 4 years ago last time. I'm pretty sure it has changed a lot since then.
Maybe so. Diego, this is the message I was looking for. Hello, guys. I heard for the first time about Bootstrap this week. Cool.
Mm.
Let's figure out what to do. So the first thing I have in mind, Michael, is telling people how they can get started with Bootstrap, and we'll be showing you on a local project and with Scrimba. So let's do that now. Here is Scrimba. As you can see, currently nothing really, just HTML, CSS, oh yeah, kind of centering things. A nice image, which we'll come to later, and empty JS file.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first thing, to add the dependency over on Scrimba, Bootstrap.
Yes.
Add.
So you can do that with npm install Bootstrap if you're doing it in VS Code.
Which we'll come to now. So I have here and here the same project, basically, in VS Code. So if I want to use Bootstrap with this, my understanding is we go to getbootstrap.com. Yes, there's various ways of getting started. You can do CDN, or you can install via a package manager.
Yeah, so that's the one. So you can copy on the left. Yeah, you can just copy that and that's it. Or you can do it through CDN. Yeah.
I was planning to do CDN.
Okay.
Let's do this. So CSS file goes in the head. Tidy it up in a minute. And the JS, I'm not totally sure what this does. Do you know?
So basically Bootstrap is like split into two parts. Some people use it just for styling and some people also use it for functionality. So if you're just using the styles,
you only need the CSS, I'm guessing.
Yeah, you only need the CSS part.
So for example, what kind of stuff can you do with JS, like buttons and things, or?
I don't remember. But it depends. Like it would. I think you should mention it in the docs. Like if you need some kind of functionality. Some functionalities like requires JavaScript.
Okay. Well, we'll take a look at that a bit later. So, oops. Yeah. Now I have saved those. Back over here, though. That's Scrimba. What we need now is to save it and run the page. Let's go live. Here we are. Now, I am pretty sure that has worked because this styling looks different to the default, doesn't it?
So, well, you can just remove it and then save it and see if it changed.
What you mean, comment this?
Yeah. Okay.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Whoa. So there we have it. This, you can already see, has added some default bootstrappy styles. Yay. What's a suitable noise for that? Clapping myself. Always a good thing to do. Yes, so that's basically it. So with this then.
I think we should probably just very quickly briefly describe what Bootstrap is.
Go ahead.
In case.
Good idea.
Yeah, you can do styling with CSS. So you start off with, buttons, colors, that kind of stuff. But a lot of people find that just with CSS, it takes quite a lot of time to get things done, and they might not be as uniform as you would sometimes wish. So people have, quite historically, quite often resorted to something like maybe some people are not that particularly, keen on styling and stuff. So what they do is they basically go for a library with styles with already like decided defaults for them. So they just pick and choose various items that are already pre-coded for them, and they just use those. Hence all the different CSS frameworks and stuff like that. Like there are, like for example, there Bootstrap is one, there is Material by Google, then there is Tailwind, and so on. So there are lots of different CSS frameworks, and they all kind of slightly different, but ultimately they do the same kind of approach, that you don't just write vanilla CSS. It's kind of there to speed you up a little bit in terms of styling.
Kind of ready-made modules you can use.
Yeah, sometimes. With Bootstrap, you can use ready-made modules with Material as well, and like Tailwind has Tailwind UI, where it has like a whole page of templates that you can just use.
Nice. So you see here we've got things for layout, we've got content, so typography, images, so on, forms, components, even a whole accordion.
It basically saves you time on making decisions, researching, and stuff like that. So you're like, you might not know anything about typography, you just use this, and there is some reasonable default that you might be happy with. Yeah.
Well.
And like Material, for example, it's the Google, like when you go to Google products like Gmail and so on, it has this very particular look, like Google look.
Is it from Google then?
Yeah, Material is basically Google's own kind of design system and CSS and JavaScript library that you can basically, there are like React components and stuff that they're already pre-styled in that particular way.
And Dave says Bootstrap is originally by Twitter, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Interesting. There's another Alexander from Ukraine.
Hey.
Hello. Yeah. So Sam asked, what's the biggest difference between the option CDN and the other one, Install Package Manager? So that was these ways of adding it. And then Sarah has said, if you use a package manager, you can customize the CSS however much you like. So can you not do that with the CDN then?
You can probably override it. With package manager, you can customize CSS. In case Sarah means like you go to the actual Bootstrap files and you can like tweak them there.
Oh, right.
So
Yeah.
maybe you can do that.
I think you can.
It kind of depends on basically there are different, as people call, delivery strategies. So for example, you create your website and then you deploy it. Do you want all of the dependencies be together, or do you want to rely on CDN to deliver that? So for example, do you want, like if that CDN is offline because there is some outage, then your Bootstrap won't load. So do you want to rely on that, or do you want to save money? For example, your website has a lot of traffic and you have to serve all of this Bootstrap in the network from your servers. So you will have to pay for network. And if it's a really big website, you probably don't want to do that. So people offload it to a CDN.
So you're saying that if Bootstrap was down, all the Bootstrap sites in the world that have used CDN would just break?
Well, it's the GS deliver. So this particular CDN. So for example, if it has an outage, then yes, it might go down.
Crikey. A word of warning.
Well, it's kind of, I would say it's kind of expected in a way. You know, like for example, if AWS is down or Cloudflare is down, then people on the internet notice. Yeah, quite often, like normal people, like for example, if Cloudflare goes down, then a lot of people notice.
Yeah, they sure do. I
Yeah.
think that's what happened to us once, and it messed up our live stream. Maybe that was something else.
Yeah, could be. I remember once I missed my train because AWS was down in London. Yeah.
Not
There
good.
was some signaling apparently was hosted on London server. So
Yeah. Then again, getting a train cancelled in England is not difficult to do. So
yes.
So let's try to get this now working in Scrimba. It might just work.
I think it already works.
Yeah, I guess it does because it looks different. Can you delete them?
Yeah, I think you can right click on Bootstrap. Yeah, and you can say remove module.
Okay, just to check it's actually doing something. Actually, I'm not sure it is. If not, we might have to add the CDNs because didn't that happen last week? Or another week, we ended up using Bootstrap.
Don't know, but we can import some kind
unexpectedly.
We can import some kind of package, and then.
Right, I think just this will do it. There we go. Yay. Good stuff. What does Bootstrap do? Broadly speaking, makes styling your sites easier.
Yeah, it basically speeds up the things because you don't have to make those decisions. Build those components. You just use them.
Yeah, preloaded CSS, I guess. Yeah. I'm just resharing my screen. Bear with me. So what we're going to do, Michael, is make something from Frontend Mentor. Frontend Mentor is a site you can go to get mock-ups and website designs to practice building. And we have a collab with them. Our space travel site. Here you go, with Kevin Powell. Yeah. So this is Kevin Powell times Scrimba times Frontend Mentor. Space travel site, which you can check out after the stream, should you wish. But today I thought we'll keep it something fairly small and simple, which is this perfume shopping card, I guess you'd call it. CSS for lazy people, basically. Lazy, efficient, yeah, whichever way you want to look at it. Yeah.
Yes.
Good one. So the next step, Michael, is simple responsive layout with Bootstrap.
Okay.
Because we have a desktop design where they're side by side, and a mobile where there's one on top of another. Now, I happen to know that Bootstrap is able to help with things like this. So we will start with a bit of a container situation. Typing in the wrong place. Div with a class of container. Now this presets it in Bootstrap.
Yeah, so you can, let's go to the docs and just have a quick look at it. So I think somewhere there, docs, and then...
Container. Default container. Oh, responsive containers. That sounds good. Yes. So we have container, and then it presets it to various sizes.
Yeah, it gives you like a class you can use, the sizes it goes, and then, for example, you can see them in action in grid example. Yeah, are we sharing this window by any chance?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Luckily.
So when you click on grid example, there we go. So I think if you just resize your screen right now,
it shows you what.
It should.
I don't see a huge difference between these things. I have to
no,
say.
scroll down to the container section. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, so that changes. See, so they kind of grow and stuff.
So this one is always full page.
Yeah, so
100
fluid.
VW, I guess.
Yeah, so it's always like fluid to match exactly your width.
So I guess that would be good for maybe a nav, but then I guess they've got other things for nav. Anyway, so we've got this div with a class of container. Let's put some space there. And then in that, I'm going to put 2 more divs, which are going to be columns. And to do that, redo the old div with a class of, and there's various ones. Class, I'm going to go for col medium and then 4. I'll explain what this does in a minute. Or maybe you can explain.
Basically, it's kind of like a very specific Bootstrap flavored syntax. So they basically, I think it's called, what is it called? Utility classes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, it's like this typical, like CSS. Well, actually, Kevin Powell actually covers utility classes in that course as well. But basically, you save this class, and it basically applies a bunch of styles in the background. So instead of saving, you can create the same class in your CSS, and then write all sorts of CSS that matches like flexbox rules and so on, and then determine what size it should be and stuff.
And what I was hoping would happen would be that
I think you can color it, and then it should show the difference.
Yeah, but I don't think it's actually being responsive in the way that I wanted it, which is a bit annoying.
In what way did you want it?
Well, my idea was that they'd be side by side on a larger screen and then go column.
So I think if you go back to the grid template.
Yep.
No, let me see. So I think you can basically do something like 2 columns with 2 nested columns, something like that.
Oh no, I know what it is. You need
so you basically need to unclose it or not.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be in a row or something.
Yeah. We need div with a class of row.
Oh, okay.
And then the columns are within that. Good. And then, so hopefully, away we go. Yay! Wait. And then it goes down to a column layout on smaller. So now, hopefully, this will work with the medium instead of the small.
Yeah. So it takes a little bit getting used to the syntax and stuff, but once, it's supposedly like fairly readable once you get a little bit more used to it.
Nice. Could also, as Zuhair says, fix the container to container fluid, which I think for what we're trying to do might not be a bad idea. I don't really want the whole page though. It's more of a card within it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at what it does anyway, just for fun. Okay, typing with Cyrillic, so it's not fluid. Just a style border, 2 pixels.
Everyone's favorite debugging hack.
Solid, hot pink. So that now goes the entire width, whereas this container is like this. Let's leave that on there.
So basically, container class has its own like basic padding and the rest of it, and it kind of centered. So yeah.
Good. So now let's put in the image. So on the, should do mobile first, I guess.
Yes.
So yeah, we want the image in the top one, which I'm guessing is 1.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put in a border on here. What do you think? Just to make it a bit clearer. Green. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So image img.jpg, creatively named. We'll go just in here, I guess.
Yes.
Let's see. Image.
On the other hand, why don't you just replace the whole div with that image?
So anything else on it? Yeah. Could do.
I think so.
I feel like normally people put images in a div though.
Okay.
So
Well,
let's do that. Alt equals perfume bottle. Woo. So it's in there.
yeah.
What are our options for styling images? That's the question. I did see there's something here about images. Images. Responsive images.
There we go.
Yeah. Class image fluid.
Class image fluid.
Image thumbnail. Oh, that sounds kind of what I want. Rounded image float start, rounded image float end. Rounded image max auto deblock. Why is there no explanation of what this is? Why is there just a list of different options?
I see. So I think there is.
To answer your question, Samir, should the sum of the columns width be 12? It is calculated from 12 usually, but if yours don't add up to 12, you can still use it like this. Also, I've seen in another Bootstrap video. But I guess what's important is if there's parts that you want to be a certain size, you need to dictate the right size. Makes sense.
Was it MX Auto? I actually don't know. Like, normally you would be able to. I remember, like, well, the last time I used it was actually fairly straightforward to look these up. We just go like search for that property, and there is a page.
I'm hoping for a W3 schools type of thing where there's a list of everything that goes on.
But I'm not entirely sure. It looks like they have rejigged it a little bit to just say, oh, okay. So MX margin utility class, MX. So margin padding. So M's, the property used stands for margin.
And
then
X
is for
left and right.
Both left and right.
Yeah, and then I guess.
Well, and auto for classes to set margin auto. So basically margin across set to auto. Right. There you go. So
and
it's all in.
M is all margins, I think.
There you go. So utilities.
Oh, my word. Mickey says you can use a card component. That would make it a lot easier. Interesting. What is that?
There you go. Card title.
That does look like what we want.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
It's identical to what we want.
That actually is enclosed to div class card.
And the image is not in its own div.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's a good suggestion. So let's do that.
So just to clarify, you kind of use the whole div. So instead of us using the container, you actually just use the whole thing as a card instead. like.
Matthew, it says, I've looked at the wrong version docs for Bootstrap so many times. So if you're using Bootstrap 4, do you need to look at different docs then?
Yes. So these will be
Crikey.
version 5.2, but there you go. So here is a toggle. So if you want to go previous releases, you go to 4, 3, 2, or you can click all versions and then basically pick yours. It is a very common pitfall for a lot of docs, for a lot of libraries that have been around for a long time. So you would always want to navigate to your exact. Well, it's not just with Bootstrap and stuff. Like any CSS framework, or indeed any framework, even React, you want to be sure that you're reading the docs for the version that you're using.
Did not know that.
Yeah. So, grid. Anyway, so what were we using? Oh, we were using the card.
Putting the card in, yes.
Yes, and what was it? We were using source, image docs. Check.
Oh, wow, look at that. Job done. Okay, well, have a nice evening, folks.
Yeah, well, that's kind of that is kind of the thing, that if you want to use common, if you want to use your the common ones, but I don't know, actually. Well, this button is in the middle. There is a pricing thing, so you probably.
And we will be adding an icon.
Yeah, and you still want to make it responsive for kind of like that. So you probably want to go from.
How responsive is the card on its own?
Well, let's have a look. Let me just quickly add the alt text to the image.
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
Good one.
Perfume bottle. So it kind of stretches out a little bit. Actually, no, it doesn't. No, it's not responsive.
No,
it's not responsive. It's kind of very similar for the whole thing.
Well,
yeah.
I think we should do the button next, and well, maybe add the pricing as well.
There you go. Yeah. So there is a little bit more.
No. Sarah says you want the horizontal card.
Really, there is another card.
So is that responsive then? Or do we need to do a media query?
Maybe there are many cards.
With the HTML, that wouldn't work.
Card titles, links, images, list groups, kitchen sink. Mix and match multiple content types to create the card you need to throw everything in there. Shown below. Oh, look at that. Header and footer. So you can have a card.
Oh, look. There we go. It's in docs, card, horizontal. It's responsive.
Really?
Just Control F it. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Let's put that one in.
So there's quite a lot of styling for it, right? So you have a card, with max width, row, column.
What's G?
G? I don't know.
Gap?
No.
I reckon it's gap.
Gap, maybe. I don't know. So utilities. So there's this section kind of.
What is G in Bootstrap? Gutters. So it's margin, I believe, in the middle of columns and or rows.
Okay, fair enough. So gutters it is. So you have. Okay, so let's quickly grab that. That's the thing with a lot of the CSS frameworks, that quite often instead of writing CSS, you actually spend time like scrolling through their docs, finding exactly the thing you want. So because there are so many different different examples that you can use.
Daniel thinks use class col xl6 col md12, for example. Frontend Mentor does have an accessibility report. Just a heads up.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done?
Use that card, but I don't think it is. I don't think it has changed. Maybe I'm using it wrong or something. So it has cardboardy card title. Maybe I didn't copy the right one.
I don't think so.
Maybe not. Okay, it's horizontal. There we are.
Yeah, because it said something different in the paragraph.
Card and B. Oh yeah, I copied and pasted the same one.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah. Copy and pasted the same one. Okay, so just to be doubly sure. And this one, once in. So source. Oh, look at that. The image styling is actually different. Fair enough. Just remove that. Oh, look at that. Whoa. How interesting. Well, that is very responsive, not gonna lie. That is very responsive.
Not bad.
It is a little bit different, but that's the thing. It's like if you want to tweak it, you will have to get fairly okay with Bootstrap to then tweak it to what you want.
I think the alt should be Chanel perfume bottle with leaves.
Product placement. Chanel, if you're thinking about sponsoring this channel.
Extra image tag. What, we have an extra one or we need an extra one?
No, I just deleted it. Yeah, there was an extra image tag because I wanted to compare how the styling is different. But yeah, I think there was Dave who mentioned.
I'm sure people who don't know CSS do the scrolling through the docs when learning CSS too. That's true.
Yes, that is true. Although you see, like, people when they're learning CSS, you're kind of scrolling the docs for CSS to learn CSS, while with CSS frameworks, people scroll through the components to then copy paste the code. So you have the exact thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Which is better?
Well, it depends what you want to do. Yeah. Like in my case, I don't want to learn CSS. I just want to. I think also Dave.
Live my life in peace and not suffer.
Yeah, Dave was also the one who. There we go. Here's that con. I must be something of a control freak because I don't like to use these frameworks. I feel like it's extra hard to look unique. Well, that's the thing. So like, I don't care about whatever I'm producing to look that unique, because quite often it's just the utility for like an internal tool for someone to use, and they don't care about styling or uniqueness. You know, they need a button and like a field to type something into it and stuff like that. So very often the UI is just in a very quick and dirty interface to do something in the background that people care much more about.
Gotcha. Speaking of buttons, I think we should now work on our button. Actually, before we do that, how can we make this more accessible? Because it uses a lot of divs.
It does.
I think we could make the whole thing into an article.
Possibly. I do think that if accessibility is a major requirement for a site.
Kind of always is, isn't it?
No, not necessarily, because, well, I would say it depends how far you're going. Like, for example, if it's some kind of, I don't know, a website for a military application or something, then like people have to be able to see certain things. Although actually, I don't know, like in maybe the dusty screen and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe you're right. Accessibility is a concern most of the time.
Front-end mentor accessibility report.
I like how I managed to change my mind on what I actually think on the thing within a sentence.
That's what it's all about. Let us know if you happen to know where the accessibility report is. Oh,
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Never heard of
my
it.
old buddy Bootstrap. Debjit is a Bootstrap fan.
Oh, that's good.
Good. Huh. So this is another one.
I think it's when you submit a solution. So you see the URL says solutions and then it says report. So maybe if you submit...
So they give you one. That's nice. So what you could do is...
So if you paste the link to a solution or something, or upload the website to them, then maybe they can give you a report.
You
can write a lighthouse.
Exactly. Can use... Oh, that's not it.
For...
There we are. You can analyze this in Lighthouse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to say much because I only have an H1 on this page.
I mean, it's probably going to be perfect.
Let's hope so. But if not, it will give you suggestions of what to do. 71. Okay, very far from perfect. It doesn't have a title element.
There you go.
Yes. Doesn't have a language attribute, and so on. So this is a nice way to get tips on how to improve. Anyway, back to this. I think this should be a section. No, a article. Is that the wrong one?
I think so.
It's that one. Closes this one, and that will also make it much easier to manage the HTML. There's a lot of discussion about when you can use an article. What I understand is when it could exist on its own and still make sense, be a good one. Yes.
An article. Okay.
Use WebAIM. What's a WebAIM? WebAIM. Web accessibility is accessibility. No, that's the wrong one. Web accessibility in mind. Accessibility training, technical assistance. Oh, you can do all sorts. Good resource. We could use it in the newsletter or share it in the newsletter. That's actually a good idea. We should mention in the newsletter some accessibility resources. This, Lighthouse, various others. Anyway, back to this. Let's add in our old pricing, which will be here. I think. Last updated 3 minutes ago. Okay.
I think we can probably replace...
use that instead, I think. Yeah. So it's not going to be small, is it? It's going to be big and green and not muted. So what does Bootstrap have?
I think that needs to be a button though. So if we compare the designs...
No, the button's this. I'm talking about...
you're talking about the price. Sorry.
But now I'm looking at it. This smaller price...
is what we want.
should be this. So that says what? $169.99. Crikey. It's not cheap, is it?
Is that how much it is?
I don't know. It can be that. Okay.
Yeah, and it
and
probably
we need
should
a
be...
strikeout, don't we?
Yeah, so... You're probably looking for text. Sorry. Yeah, text over there. Text alignment. Sorry, on the right hand side there is...
text decoration.
There we go.
Actually, I'm not sure what it is. But let's have a look what there is anyway. Alignment, wrapping and overflow.
Take you to that page.
Word break. Text transform.
Well, let's keep scrolling until we get to text decoration.
Oh, maybe we'll fiddle with the line height in a minute. Various variables.
Yeah, I think we missed text decoration. There we are. Line through.
Ah. So I will copy this. So
So I think we need
does
both.
it actually matter which one I put it on?
Well, yeah, you want text muted and then space line through.
So it needs to go on. What I mean is, can I put it here? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, card
I
text.
guess it doesn't really make any difference. Not
Yeah.
sure.
Actually, no, I think it does. Because I think you want to add it next to text muted because the strike through is not muted.
Ah. Okay. Good point. Now it is.
No, it is. Yeah.
Good. So now let's look for one that's nice and big and green and
Nice and big and green. So
Well,
I would imagine.
Hulk-like, if you will. Yes. Font weight and italics. Is there some kind of display font section? Oh, that's just the display property.
Mhm.
Because these are maybe headings, but then it's not really a heading, is it?
You probably can achieve that with just font size. Right. So you need to have the right.
But I'm wondering, is there any kind of preset display fonts rather than just making it big and then making it green and so on?
Not that I know of, but let's find out. Font size. Probably double click.
It's loading.
No. Okay. Well, scroll to it. I'm too impatient.
Well,
I did. Actually, yeah, there we are. Font size.
FS1 text.
FS1 text. Scroll down.
Looks good.
So it's just FS1.
FS1. Okay. P plus FS1.
And probably green or something.
Let's see. 149.99. So now we've got the issue that they need to be next to each other. Do they? I think they do.
Yeah, div row. I guess.
Yeah. If we're the class of row.
Yeah.
And then
Good.
I do wonder why that's not auto-filling. Slightly worrying. Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Right. That has not worked.
That has not worked.
So, that's because these would then need to be columns, wouldn't they?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Col SM something.
4.
That would be 4, and this would be. Hold on, what does that do? Not 9, 8. Is that the way around we want them? No.
Yeah, I think.
We need to
this
swap
needs to be.
that. This is 4, and this is 8. Okay. Getting there. A little messy, but we're getting there. Yes.
Green?
Missing this.
Yes.
So colors now. Scroll speed.
Scroll spike.
What's that?
It's like when things are in and out of a view.
Crikey.
Scroll to indicate which link is currently active in the viewport. Ooh. So scroll spike toggles active class elements when the element referenced by best used in conjunction with Bootstrap nav component. I think if you scroll down to the example, that should show.
Or not. Anyway, look, let's go for colors. Right.
Okay.
Colors.
Okay.
Now this is an interesting thing because that looks like the color I want, but it's not a success. So that would be a bit.
Yes and no. Well, kind of yes and no. So you can basically use the preset for success, danger, warning, and stuff, or the colored ones. So you either use them semantically or you use them.
Oh, what you mean? There's other colors then?
Yeah. It could be like there are preset, like primary, secondary, success, danger. So scroll down on this. Or you can just give a name to a color.
But that's not really Bootstrap. That's just, well, I guess it kind of is. What do you mean?
So there are utility. There are utility classes to be semantic. Like, okay, if whatever you're doing,
one and all the rest of it.
Yeah, if whatever you're doing is success, and here is like text white.
Oh right, yeah.
So text white, text black with like, is it weight or something? Color weight? I can't remember what it's called. Like 50 and so on. So text dark, text light. So I think if you're going for.
Oh look.
So there you go. Variables, color.
Yeah, go up a bit. There's some. So how do you use these variables then?
I think they can be just typed in. So I think for most colors they're just there. So text, green. So let's go for, what is it? I think it's this one.
Opacity is the number. Good to know.
Text, green, yeah.
So do not put the price inside the p tag with the class card text.
Text green? And that didn't work.
I might do. Hold that thought. We will look into it.
Text white. Huh, interesting. I was expecting this should work. Okay. White
The white works, which is not helpful.
Green doesn't. Okay, it doesn't exist then. Whoops.
But I saw some green a bit further up. Or some.
That's just success.
No, not this.
Oh, maybe it's a variable.
Yeah. These. Most color utilities are generated by theme colors reassigned from a generic color palette variables. Okay. Gotta say, I'm not finding these docs hugely helpful. How do I use teal? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so well, I think this requires a little bit more reading on this. In addition to the following SAS functionality, consider reading CSS custom properties, aka CSS variables. So there you go, custom properties.
Oh, so I just have to set up my own custom property.
Use Bootstrap CSS custom properties for fast, forward-looking design development. See, you don't have to, you can use theirs.
Yes, but why would I load like 30,000 different ones that I'm not going to use?
Component variables, prefix example, create checkpoints.
I mean, maybe that is good because it's got all these different, body fonts, line heights, etc. that you don't have to write it yourself then and reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, so I would imagine.
BS teal. I guess that's base. To avoid
conflicts with third-party CSS.
So I guess they put
Bootstrap.
Right, yeah, that makes sense. They do that so that if you then made your own one called teal, it wouldn't clash.
Here, the variables we include root is required that can be accessed anywhere. Let's see.
Yeah, we just got to do like root and then BS teal.
So most color utilities are generated by our theme colors reassigned from our generic color palette variable.
Yeah, so those are the hex codes for them. And what you just had up is the pre-made variables they give.
Yeah, and so you can apply them.
Yes, you can. Look.
Well, go for it.
Where's that thing you just had? This.
There.
So I won't put them all in at the moment. We'll just do this. We will put here. So then I guess we just have to add. I mean, normally just to use it here, we would.
I would create my own class and just use the color that it's already there.
Class. Yeah. Oh, text green. That'll do. Well, really, it's teal. Text teal. Okay. And then.
A bit odd that they haven't like predefined a whole lot of those.
Color. Maybe they have. We just can't find it. BS. Teal. Oh.
There you go.
I wouldn't call that teal, but it's good enough.
Okay.
Congratulations, Bootstrap. Back to Julio's question. Would you not put the price inside the P tag with the class card text? In here.
Yeah, just like above.
If we did that though, I don't think we'd be able to have the layout like this, because card text is this.
Yeah, card text has its own defined. I think if you go to the docs,
which
and
is the
search for it-
full width, and then we need our price to be, I guess.
I mean, you can just apply it and see what happens.
You could achieve that with a breakpoint, but I don't.
Let's do that.
Not a fan. But interesting idea.
Okay, that didn't make any difference.
There's a Bootstrap API.
Make any difference? Okay, that did make difference. I don't think card text made any difference, to be fair. Yeah. I think it kind of okay, so let me just quickly have a look at card text. Does it say? Okay, so images. Card image top places an image to the top of the card. With card text, text can be added to the card. Text within card text can also be styled with standard HTML tags. Okay, but what's the intended meaning behind this property? Like, what does it actually style? Text alignment, maybe. Come on. Oh, here is text alignment. Text align classes. Okay. Well, that's self-explanatory. You can just change text alignment with text align classes. Oh, it's those. Text start. Oh, I see, right. So yeah, it's quite tricky to guess sometimes what these styles actually do. It just says like card text, but what does it do? I don't know.
One interesting question. Can screen readers, well, really, do screen readers read class names? Because if they do, that would kind of make sense.
Maybe.
Stack Overflow. I was wondering if screen readers are reading class names.
So what?
Answer: screen readers generally do not read properly formatted CSS classes. So it's not that.
Okay.
Anyway, Michael, we've got 4 minutes left, and I would
Hang on, wait a
really
sec.
like to add an icon.
I'll just go to the CSS. Card text. So, card text.
Margin bottom 0.
So to the last child, margin bottom 0.
Good to know.
Yeah, there you go. Card body is flex 1.
I guess it doesn't make much difference in this example, but it.
Add some padding and add some color.
Michael, I want to add a button.
A card title just adds a bottom. So actually, card text, as we can see, it probably doesn't really do anything. So
Let's look at the
there you go.
buttons.
let's look at the buttons.
Oh,
Buttons.
What do we actually want? I think it's a blue one. The primary.
Primary. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but are there any with icons already in? Yet.
Maybe.
Ooh, maybe a large one. Can you look at the design?
Front and enter.
Oh, it's green.
We need the whole long button. Something like, yeah, maybe
Like
like
something this.
Like this.
But I think instead of 6, we might want 10 or 12.
Okay.
But we only want one. Huh? Okay, so delete one and then I guess change that to 12. Yeah, pretty good. Why is that? Oh, that's annoying.
What?
The prices, they should be next to each other, but they go down to underneath each other.
I think that's because of this SM.
Maybe if we change it to medium.
I think maybe you just want to do like that. Just say.
No, we've got 99 underneath, which we definitely don't want.
For most, yeah, it kind of.
I think 4 and 8 is not what we want. We would probably want something different. Not entirely sure what. But anyway, can we add an icon in the last 2 minutes? Well, we probably.
There you go. I think that's what we want.
The icon. Michael.
Yes. What?
The icon.
What icon? Is there an icon?
There better be.
Oh, right. So there is. Oh, I see. I see what you mean. So icon. Icons. Actually, extend icons. Suggestions using icon libraries. Okay, so.
But don't they have their own? No, we don't want this. I'm sure they've got their own one.
Bootstrap Icons is a growing library of SVG icons designed by MDO and maintained by Bootstrap team.
Okay.
Learn more about Bootstrap Icons.
Oh man, you have to install it separately.
It's a separate library, yes.
Okay. If it's just a CDN, that.
Is there?
What is going on with the hyperlinks on this page?
Yeah, not sure. It takes a while to load.
It's not loading though.
So what is it? Cart, I think we're looking for. There you go. Cart.
Oh, there's loads of them. Medical carts.
Cart. Download SVG.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, look, there's some button examples. But
yes.
I think that it's just showing what it does.
Yes. So I think we can
Oh,
do
it's Unicode.
this.
Oh no, look, I think we need this. SVG.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
You can just copy it as an SVG and then with it, like, just paste it in.
Maybe. Let's see. Yikes. Oh, well, we have a cut.
We have a card.
Do you have Figma? I do have Figma. I use Figma regularly. I don't have the Figma downloaded for this design though, because it was pro and I didn't have a pro account.
Anyway, there we are. Oops, I think I added. Okay, here we are.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So let's. I mean, is it better than we could have done without Bootstrap?
Well, better than I could have done, definitely. Yes, 100%. If I were to do this with just plain CSS, I don't think I would have done this in an hour.
Why is the... Okay, that's odd. So let's compare the two side by side to finish off.
I see. If you were using Spectacle, that would have been easy.
Well, I don't really know why it's being so difficult.
I think you need to move that, yeah.
We doesn't normally do that. Okay, now I need.
Too many windows. Oh man.
There we go.
Okay.
We got there in the end.
Okay.
So, for an hour's
So-
work, including talking a lot and, yes, doing other things, I think that's not too bad. Yay!
Yes. I guess that. I mean, to be fair, it's not great either.
Michael, the point is, we've learnt about Bootstrap, have we not?
Yes.
We have.
Yes.
Now, speaking of shopping carts and things, our next Friday coding bonanza will be a shopping cart.
Is it really?
Yeah, here we are, pushing trolleys in our local supermarket car park.
Oh yes, I remember making those pictures.
We will be doing this next week.
Jesus, I wonder what I bought in that shopping trolley. I've got such. I don't think you're sharing the screen.
No.
Yeah.
I do wonder how long that's been like that.
No,
Did anyone see the comparison? Maybe not.
no, I think.
Anyway, here's the comparison. This is ours, in case you can't tell, because they're so similar. And
I think
this.
it's recent.
I
Anyway, see how much we missed.
did the whole stream like this. No, someone would have told us, I'm sure. Anyway, this is what we're doing next week, so I hope you can join us then.
Yeah. I mean, look at that face. Like, clearly I bought something I didn't want to buy. Although I'm pretty sure the trolley was empty. Although I don't remember now.
Yeah. No, it was empty.
Okay.
But it was the day you dropped a whole bottle of sauce when we went to the till after this.
Oh my word, I remember now. Yes, I
It's
dropped
like
a
an
whole
enormous
bottle of...
litre and a half bottle of
Yeah, I dropped a massive
chicken
bottle
sauce.
of Nando's sauce on the floor. The whole supermarket smelled of Nando's.
Martin
be fair, is
says, I can't imagine the time it would take me to style such cards if I were using plain CSS. Yes, I agree. Mm.
I can. Eternity. It would take me.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm using like Tailwind or Bootstrap or some framework. Yes.
Is that going to be from Frontend Mentor? It's already on Frontend Mentor, right here. So,
Yeah, we're really
and
taking the car from.
check it out as soon as you want. And
Yeah.
you can do it with Bootstrap or without or both.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this, please consider hitting like or subscribe so you don't miss our next foray into coding. And on Wednesday, I'll be talking to Nadia about building your coding career, self-taught developer. Looking forward to that. Any closing thoughts, Michael?
Friday, woo!
People asking where Pumpkin is earlier on.
Downstairs.
He's downstairs
Napping.
under the table.
Yes.
Yes, he likes it there.
Yes.
Well, have a wonderful weekend.
He's been pulling plugs a lot, so we have stopped him.
Has he? I wasn't aware of this.
Well, he was like chewing wires and stuff, just wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
So.
Well, have a wonderful weekend and see you next time, everyone. Look after yourselves and most importantly of all, keep coding.